Midwinter in the Bekaa Valley, home to hundreds of thousands of people who fled the war in Syria. In this camp, the ground has turned to mud, and in the cold and the wet, there's little to do but stay out of the rain. Families huddle around their stoves in the dim light of their tents. Della Saeed told me she escaped the Islamic State stronghold of Raqqa 2 years ago. She's bringing up her 4 children on her own. None of them has ever been to school. Lebanon's a tiny country where the war next door is having an enormous impact. A quarter of the population here is now made up of Syrian refugees who've made permanent homes of what was only ever meant to be temporary shelter. This camp sits on the outskirts of Kabylias, a town where the refugees find casual work, and that's causing tension. At the local hairdressers, Mohammed Mere told me his brother is out of work in the construction industry because the Syrians will do the same job for a third of the pay. They are a weight we can no longer carry, he says. It is to lighten that burden that the British aid effort is aimed, paying for double shifts in Lebanon's schools to make room for Syrian children.
Brilliant, that was really well done.
There are now almost as many Syrian refugees in Europe as there are in Lebanon, and the UK has provided a home to only a fraction of the numbers settled by its European partners. British policy is to stop any more from making the journey.
So what we need to do is start planning for their lives as they are, and that means getting their children into school. It means making sure that young people have jobs. And of course, all of this is firmly in Britain's national interest, because you saw over the summer that when we don't meet people's needs here, when they have no hope in this region, they will look to move somewhere else where they can rebuild their life.
And that's the UK strategy, is to make life as tolerable as possible here so that they don't come to Europe.
I think it's the right thing to do to help people here on the ground.
Of the 400,000 Syrian refugee children in Lebanon, school places have been found for just over half of them. It's a little bit of normality for some fractured family lives. But the darkness and difficulty of existence in the camps leaves plenty of reasons to move on. Geraint Vincent, News at 10, Beirut.